All right. Hey guys, so today it's gonna be very short and simple, and we're gonna focus on dates, okay? This is when the girl sees you again on another day. Now there's two different dates you're gonna get, very simple. One is romantic connection, right? The other is no romantic connection, right? Very simple. Now we're gonna focus on romantic connection first, since that's the easiest thing to do. When you have a romantic connection with a girl, generally speaking, you wanna make sure your plans are very close to what you would call a seduction location, which all this means that anywhere where you can physically have sex with the girl, right? Now, just to pause for 1 second, your main goal is to get in an intimate situation with her, whether it's, making out in a bed, foreplay, or even sex that particular day. The reason why is the stranger approach, for some reason, it's really important for things to always be moving forward progressively. Right? It's not a social circle. Social circle is designed differently where you don't have to. But in stranger approach, you always want to be moving forward as fast as possible because interest levels drop really fast in stranger approach. Right? So the romantic connection is a great thing, but you still have to keep on acting with it, or else it will still dissipate if you don't continue moving forward. Right? So the first goal is to, again, set the date really close, a place close to your house or your car, wherever you can make good moves. So that can be a house. If you live with parents or you have roommates you don't want her to see, then you can go in your car somewhere. You can drive somewhere with her and make love with her in your car, or you can go somewhere else, like maybe at a friend's place or anything else, okay? So these are really important concepts, all right? That being said, what kind of places do you want to take this girl to? Now, again, it doesn't really matter. The date shouldn't be a date. It should be more of us hanging out, get to know each other better. That's the context. You don't want to do no dinner dates, nothing like that. It has to be stuff like similar to what you do on an instant date, where you meet her and you guys are going to different places together, maybe to 1 or 2 different bars and all this other stuff. So that's one thing. Generally speaking, but you just want to go to the house as soon as possible. That's like the basic goal. You always go to the house as soon as possible. And let's talk about a situation where there's no romantic connection, right, for the date. For that situation, you still want to take it as close to your house as possible. You're just never going to mention that you live around that area or whatever. The main difference between the two is very simple. When you meet a girl that you have no romantic connection with, the goal for that particular day is not necessarily to sleep with her or anything, but to try to get the romantic connection first. But then after you get it, then if you have time that same day, you still want to try to sleep with her at some point. So you always want to try to begin seducing her to your house. A few little pointers is you want to make sure if you haven't kissed her the first day, try to kiss the second day, because it's best to try to kiss her before going to your house. It doesn't always have to be that way at all. I've done numerous different ways, but generally speaking, it would work better in your favor if you did get a kiss her before going in the house. That way it makes seduction easier. But you don't want to make out with her too much. Don't use too much tongue. Just kiss her, very light kisses, but not too deep, because you want to be able to sexually stimulate her when she gets to your house. A lot easier for seduction. Quick tips for when you actually get her in your house, or in the seduction case, especially in your house, make sure that there's not much place for her to sit down. So sometimes I would take out chairs at my room before I go on a date, so that way when she comes in, there's nowhere to sit down but my bed. So there's a lot of variations you can do. And generally speaking, once you're already making out with her beforehand, it's easier for sex to happen. All you have to do is just go for it, right? So dates are very simple in my model. It's about just getting the girl in an intimate situation. It's not about being too romantic at this point. You want to focus more on sex at this point, because that's going to buy you more, her more investment in you, because as I said before, generally sometimes the man's power raised after sex, where the girl has the power before sex. It's not always the case, a lot of times, but there's been a time where I slept with a girl and it wasn't all that. She still didn't see me as like some dream guy, but generally speaking, it's still better off doing that and getting more investment. Any other pointers I would have to say about the dates is, again, you want to have the same vibe as an instant date. When you meet her again, continue hand holding. Whether or not you held her hand before or not, your goal is to do the hand holding. Even if you made out with her the first day, you meet her again, take your time again. Don't just try to kiss her again randomly. You do the same process again. You begin with romantic investment again, right? Most time on a date it should be easier, and that's generally some quick, basic ground points. Also, you want to make sure that you never staying in one spot for too long before you reach your house, because that can kill momentum. It can get boring. So you never want to stay by one bar too long or one coffee shop. You want to keep things moving. That really makes the date feel more entertaining. And sometimes when the conversation is not going that well, it really helps you to spice things up in the conversation. So for example, sometimes I just don't have things to say, I'm tired, but just by me moving her to another location, it's a lot better, okay? So these are really important guidelines in terms of the dates, in terms of what you can do. So, you know, if you get any dates, again, the first thing to do is plan out where can you seduce her? Where can you go somewhere where you can actually, you know, have some sexual type of encounter with her? That sex could possibly happen. That's the first thing. Second thing you want to ask yourself is, you know, generally speaking, have an idea of where you're going to take most of your dates to, okay? You know, and have an idea of the geography, like where each point is, right, towards your house. Thirdly, I would recommend everywhere you go must be towards your house. Fourthly, make it more of an adventure as opposed to a guaranteed specific date, because then the girl, you don't want a girl to expect too much. You want a girl to feel like you just get to know her as opposed to wine and dine her. That's the last place you want to come from at all. Okay, so these are very important concepts. I'm not sure if the time is up for this video yet, but these are very important concepts, and I hope that this really helps. Take care.